almost all the time, the coaches would be in the room, see it happen, and multiple times kids went up to the coach and, asked him, why don't you stop this? And the coaches just said, that's the part of the culture here. So the coaches were in the room, they saw it happen. They didn't do anything about it. We came to Liberty to wrestle, not to get groped, to see people get groped, see people get penetrated with a broomstick. We came there to wrestle. That's what we came there for. Not for all of this like stuff. And then when we do speak out about it, we get retaliated against. No one believes us. Like, it's quite insane.
There were multiple times where kids would be like fully pantsed and like clothes taken off fully, and kids would be like holding them down, and one kid would be putting his genitalia in the kid's face, in the kid's mouth, and like groping the kid too. And it was just disgusting behavior, but it was normal. Like, everybody was like, oh, that's normal, like, haha, he's just getting hazed, like, that's. And if you were like to do anything about it, especially with most of the varsity guys who would do this, like, another example is how they held someone down and shoved I think it was like it was called the penetration pole, and they would shove it up their butt, and if you would do anything about it, there would be retaliation, because I remember kids like saying like, hey, stop, what are you doing, blah blah blah, and they would like get in his grill. One kid would leave the group and say like, don't ever like share this with anybody, don't ever don't tell anybody, or else we're gonna beat the crap out of you. Except they didn't say it so nicely. They added a cuss word here and there. We trusted these coaches. We've known them for 10 plus years, and it really kind of surprised like my parents when I first told them, and it's just so like disturbing that these coaches would sit there and let it happen and say it's a part of our culture and it's just hazing. Who's just gonna believe kids, right? Like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Like, the coaches are like, we trusted them. Other people and other parents trust them, and so if they don't see it happening, they're just gonna lie and say like, oh, that never happened, blah blah blah. And so I was like pretty scared to like record, because even if I did, like, people would be like, oh, that's just boys being boys or something. I remember like it took me a while for me to share the videos with my parents, because I wasn't sure how much they could protect me, because these kids, like, I've seen them outside the wrestling room multiple times, and so I don't know what they could have done, because what they did in the wrestling room to those kids, unspeakable things. How often it happened? Almost every practice, honestly. Multiple times a week, even in the off-season, preseason, even in out-of-state tournaments and events, in hotel rooms and stuff like that. So
I would see things happen, and honestly, like, every time they kept getting worse, even after we talked to the coaches about it and asked them to stop the wrestlers that were doing it. It just kept getting worse. Coaches didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, it broke our relationship with wrestling, because I didn't want to go back, because even if I changed schools, like, who knows, it could be happening there, and I was already afraid that it was the whole coaching system and school, like AD, principal, even the district one needs to be held accountable, and they need to answer for this.